Whatever you do, do not yank that hook out of that fish's mouth. Welcome back to another episode of Bass with Captain Lou. In today's episode, I am going to show you guys how to de-hook a gut-hooked fish. Before I continue with the video, I just want to give special thanks to my friend Miguel. Thank you very much, Miguel, for the camera work. You were able to capture some excellent footage and make this video go a lot smoother for me. So for anglers or my young anglers who are new to the sport and have never heard the phrase gut-hooked, what that basically means is that the bass or the peacock bass has taken that hook and it got itself hooked pretty deep into its mouth. And usually it's right around this muscle I call the sphincter that goes into the entrance of the fish's stomach. Sometimes that hook will get lodged in there. And many times, anglers who don't have the experience of removing those hooks, what they either do, they'll either yank that hook out or they'll cut and leave that hook in. Unfortunately, that kills or seriously harms the fish. So in today's video, I was successful in capturing footage in removing two hooks from two separate peacock that were gut hooked. Now, before I jump into the footage, I wanted to go ahead and cover two parts. Part number one is the tools that you're going to need to de-hook a fish properly that's been gut hooked. Basically, what you're going to be using is you're going to be using a simple set of fishing pliers. You should have that in the boat, or you should be carrying that with you in your fish bag if you're a bank fisherman. Or you could also have yourself a smaller set of long nose pliers. These are great because it helps you maneuver in the fish's mouth because they're a little bit smaller. And another very useful tool that you might think of purchasing is a set of forceps. And the forceps are similar to pliers. The only difference is they have smaller pincers. They're very, very long, and you're able to easily maneuver inside the fish's mouth with a good set of forceps. So the second part I wanted to cover with you guys is utilizing this example of a J-hook is what is it that I'm actually doing inside the fish's mouth to safely remove the hook. And what we're going to do is the first thing that you need to do is you need to identify where the hook is inside the fish's mouth. You're then going to identify the line tie, meaning where that line has tied into the loop of the hook. With your pliers, you're going to go ahead and grab that area of the line tie, and you're going to go ahead and pivot and rotate inside the fish's mouth. You're going to take the same pliers, you're going to find the bend of the hook, and you're going to go ahead and grab with the pliers and pull straight up. And that is what we're doing when we remove the hook from a gut-hooked fish. So in these next two clips, I'm going to go ahead and illustrate exactly the steps I took to remove the hook from a two gut-hooked peacock. On this first one, you're going to quickly notice that what I did was I used a regular set of fishing pliers. I went underneath the fish's gill plate. I found the hook. I went ahead, found the line tie. I rotated very slowly. I then repositioned my pliers, grabbed the bend of the hook, and I pulled straight up. And as you guys can see, the hook came out nice and easy. Now, in case you guys missed that, I'm going to go ahead and show it again on a different peacock. So once again, you're going to take your pliers. You're going to safely come up the gill plate. You're going to identify where the hook is. You're going to grab that hook by the line tie or the loop of the hook. You're going to pivot, rotate that hook until you see the bend of the hook. You're going to go ahead and then pull vertically, and the hook will come out nice and easy. Now, something I want to talk to you guys about in regards to that technique is you have to be very careful if you choose to go underneath the gill plate. You have to be very careful with the pliers because you do not want to injure any part of the gills, any part of the gill system of a fish. So you need to be very careful when you insert your pliers that those gills are moved out of the way and that you're coming up close to the body of the fish, up the gill plate and away from the actual gills. Now, another tip I want to cover with you guys is at first this technique may not seem easy. Okay, I have been fortunate or unfortunate that I've done this technique many times due to the fact that I'm a guide and I fish with a lot of live bait with my clients, and sometimes bite detection is missed and that shiner is taken in deep, and I've had to do this type of technique many of times, so I've had a lot of practice in this situation. Now, if you're faced with this situation that you're going to remove that deep hooked fish from its gullet, what you got to do is the first step you need to do is you got to be very patient. Now, if you find that you're taking too long and you think that fish has been out of the water for way too long, what you're going to do is you're going to take that same fish very carefully. You're going to place it back in the water for several seconds. Okay? Basically, you're reviving it. You're putting oxygen back into its gills. You're going to take that fish out of the water, open its mouth, and then you're going to try again. You're going to be very, very patient. You're going to take your time. Okay? Like I said, a lot of anglers have the best intention. They cut the line or they try to get that hook out roughly in one move. You're just going to hurt the fish. So take your time. Rewatch this video several times. When you do it the first time, it's going to take you a little while, but with practice, you're going to find that the technique is very easy. It's very safe and it's extremely effective. So there you guys have it, de-hooking a gut hook fish. Hopefully you guys got something out of this video. Like this video, share this video, better yet, subscribe. The community is growing. You want to learn fall fishing topwater techniques, I strongly recommend you guys check out these two videos right here. You want to go ahead and enjoy the Everglades on a guide trip with yours truly, please go to my website, bassingwithcaptainlou.com, book yourself a trip, and let's get out there and have a great time. Thanks again for watching, folks, and I'll see you guys again soon.